Hello everyone. In this video, we will see the extension available for Arduino in our Blockzie software. In this video, we are going to learn what kind of extensions are available for Arduino, which we can say any peripheral devices that we can connect to our microcontroller unit, which is a Arduino Uno. In this tutorial, we are learning about what extensions are in the Blockzie software and how to add extension in a Blockzie software. We are also seeing how to add extension in a Blockzie software and how to use it. Let's see some table of contents that we are going to see in this video. First of all, we will see what is an extension, then which kind of extensions are available in our Blockzie software, which are connected to our Arduino Uno microcontroller board, and how to add our extensions and what are the steps to add the extensions uh, in our Blockzie software. Let's see what is the extension. So, an extension is a category of blocks that can be added to the block palette and extend the scope of the Blockzie software. Basically, extensions make it possible to connect a Blockzie project source of information on the web, like such as a Google Translate and Amazon text to speech or any peripheral devices, or we can say the library of any peripheral devices. Uh, for example, L298N, which is a motor driver board of our for our Blockzy software. And by using this motor driver, we can operate our motors or BO motors as we want. So they add a collection of a command and reporter blocks that can be used to interact with a particular device or a data source. You can add extension of Arduino is only and only upload mode. Yes, we can add this extension in our upload mode. When an extension is enabled, its block appear in a location with the same name as the extension. Like if we add a passive buzzers extension, the block of this extension is named as a passive buzzer. For Arduino programming, 28 different types of R extensions are available in our Blockzy software. We can add 28 different types of extensions for Arduino Uno in our Blockzy software. Let's see some different Arduino extensions. So as I mentioned previously, we have a 28 different type of extensions are available in our Blockzy software for Arduino microcontroller board. Let's see which are the extensions are available in our Blockzy software. Here you can see some modules which are we can use to connect with our microcontroller board, and we can use as with the specifications of the board, like Chinese TTX. It's a kind of a text to speech module based on the SYN6 to B8, which is supported a Chinese and English letter and numbers. Another one is L298N. As I mentioned previously, this module is basically used to run our motors and give the power supply of 12 volt to our uh, motor and a 5 volt of a power supply to our microcontroller board. So uh, here we have this kind of extensions. Let's move forward. Next, you can see here is a it's a passive buzzer. Unlike the active buzzer, the passive buzzer can be used to make a different tone of a sound and play some ringtones. In by adding this extension of a passive buzzer, we have all the libraries and all the pin configuration with our Blockzy software. Yes, it will attach to our Blockzy software, and we can specifically use this extension to run our passive buzzer. uh, So a passive buzzer. Here we can see a extension of a passive buzzer which are available in a Blockzie software. So it's basically a active buzzer. The passive buzzer, unlike the active buzzer, the passive buzzer can be used to make a different tone of a sound and play some ringtones. So where we need projects like where we need a passive buzzer kind of a feature in our microcontroller project, we can add this extension in our blocks and we can code or we can programming according these peripheral devices. Next, which is a APDS9960, which is a proximity light RGB and a gesture sensor which use an I2C interface. So, it this extension is provide our I2C communication with the proximity light RGB and a gesture sensor, which is a APDS9960. Here, by adding the extension of this module, we can use the configuration of this module, or we can uh, use this library in our Blockzie software by adding the extension of this module. Next one is a DHT sensor, which is basically a temperature and a humidity sensor module where we need this kind of a sensor where we need uh, the feature of sensing the temperature or humidity in our environment. We can add this software, we can add this extension in our Blockzy software, and the calculation of a temperature and humidity can be added by adding the extension of this DHT sensors extension. Next one is DS18B20 sensor, which is basically a single burst digital temperature sensor based on a DS18B20. So by adding this extension, we have the calculation of a digital temperature sensor automatically in our Blockzy software, and we will see the pin configurations in our left hand side of the Blockzy software. The module, uh, the programming of the module. Next one is a Max 30102 sensor. So basically, this sensor is a blood oxygen and a heart rate detection module based on a MAX 30102. So by adding this extension to our Blockzy software, we have a ready-made library of this module, and we can use it as per our requirement. Let's move forward with the MAX 6675 module. It's a K-type thermocoupler or thermotemperature measurement module based on the MAX 6675. The measurement range is 0 to 124 degrees Celsius. So, by adding this extension in our Blockzy software, we have a ready-made calculation of a thermocoupler and thermotemperature measurement. We don't need to write any code or any program manually, or we don't need write any calculation for measurement of a temperature in our programming. We have what ready-made calculation and ready-made library by adding this extension to our Blockzy software. Let's see some other modules which are available as an extension in our Blockzy software. So here you can see a MPU 6050 sensor. It's nothing but a 6-axis altitude sensor module based on a MPU 6050, where we need a measurement or we need a sensing of six axis. We can add this module to our microcontroller and we can write down our code or our programming by adding this extension in our Blockzy software. Next one is a IR sensor, which is an infrared distance sensor module based on the principle of triangle ranging. So we will study about in our next videos. But let's see the extension of sharp IR sensor. So by adding this extension in our Blockzie software, we can write down our codes on the base of infrared sensor, and easily we can add this code of our IR sensor to our programming. Next one is a TCS3200, which is a color sensor module which sends the color, and where we need the feature of sensing the color. We can add the extension of this module to our programming. Next one is a ultrasonic sensor, which is a basically ultrasonic device that can detect the range of the object in the front of it. And by adding this extension, we can write down our code with the with the ultrasonic sensor. Next one is a 8 cross 8 matrix display, which is basically a display that in this module we have 8 cross 8. It means 64 LEDs in our display, and by clicking on it, we can add this extension in our programming. Next one is a four digital clock display. Here you can see a four number digital display, which is a LED display, and we also add the extension of this module to our programming. Here next is a 16 cross 2 LCD, which is a LCD liquid crystal display, and 16 characters and two lines are available in this uh, LCD display. So here we also have the extension of a LCD module in our Blockzie software. Next one is a OLED, which is an organic light emitting display. By If we have to operate this OLED, we need to learn I2C communication protocol. But here in this extension of a OLED display, we don't need to write any specific or any manual I2C connection. We have a ready-made I2C connection programming code. We just need to configure the pins of a OLED display where we connect it to our microcontroller board, and we can easily add this portion of the programming in our Blockzy software and in our microcontroller board. Here, you can see some more extensions which are available in a Blockzy software of Arduino controller extension. The first one is a RGB LED strips. It's basically a strips where you can see RGB LED are connected in a round shape, and we can use according to it. Next one is a shift digital display. It's digital display based on a 74HC595 with a dynamic scanning display. Next, you can see a U8G2 is a general graphic library for multiple screens where we need a graphic portion of in our programming. So the next one is a U8G2. It's basically a general graphic library for multiple screens, which is suitable for a LCD, where we need to add some graphic portion in our LCD. We need to install this library, which is a U8G2, to our microcontroller board. So here we can see the library of U8G2 is also available as an extension in our Blockzy software. Next one is a cooperative schedules. It's used to allow Arduino run multiple tasks at the same time. So we don't need to add some manual codes or manual libraries like Arduino IDE. We just need to add this extension in our Blockzy software, and we have the basic codes and example codes in our Blockzy software which are connected to, or we can use in our Arduino microcontroller board. Next one is insert the source code. Insert the source code directly into the block so that professional users can realize some more advanced function. So by adding this extension, we can write some uh, advanced functions in our microcontroller board. Next one is a RFID. So it's basically used to radio frequency identification feature. So by adding this extension, we can operate our MFRC 522 module, which is a RFID module. And we can use this module by adding this extension in our microcontroller board. Next one is a 16 channel VWN driver module based on a PCA 98859685 user IIC bus for a communication. As I mentioned previously, this module is also run on a I2C communication. So we don't need to learn anything specific about I2C communication, or we don't need to write some manual codes for I2C communication. We just need to add this extension in our Blockzie software, and we can use this module by adding this extension in our programming mode. Next one is a SD card module. Everyone can familiar with this module where we need our where we need a peripheral devices like a SD card, which is a when in a simple words we use a memory card. So where we need this module, we can add this extension and use according to it. Let's see how to add an extension in our Blockzie and which are the steps to add the extension in our Blockzie software. First of all, get all the equipment ready. Now connect the narrow end of the USB-B cable to Arduino and the other end of the cable to our USB port of the PC. This USB-B type cable is also help to upload our program for PC to Arduino board. Once you plug in your Arduino board a LED, power LED. Actually, this is a power LED of our microcontroller board, which indicate the power is going through it or not. So the LED will start blinking, which indicate your Arduino board is connected to your PC or not. Here we can see the LED start blinking, which means your Arduino board is successfully connected to your PC. Next, now open the Blockzie software for a programming the Arduino Uno, and here you can see in a red box, click on the no device selected from the toolbar. Now the next window will appear on your screen, and you will see some microcontroller board. So here we use Arduino Uno microcontroller board. So we will select the Arduino Uno and move forward. Now the next screen will appear on your laptop, and you will see the laptop is searching for the devices which are connected to our COM port. Here we use a microcontroller Arduino Uno. So your PC will looking for the devices which are connected to our USB board. When the device is detect your microcontroller board, here we use Arduino Uno, which are connected to our COM7 port. So the device name and the COM port with mention is appear on your screen. Now, when we connect the Arduino board, it will show that your microcontroller board is successfully connected to your PC or not. Here we can see that our Arduino Uno microcontroller board is connected to our PC. Now, connected devices and the port are being displayed on your Blockzie software. Here we can see Arduino Uno, and which are connected to our COM7 port are mentioned in this slide. Now, let's move forward. So here we can see that on the top right corner there is a toggle button named with a mode. This button is used to switch between the two working mode, as we can learn in a previous video. There is a upload mode and a real-time mode. So here we have to use the upload mode for uploading the code in a microcontroller board. So as I mentioned, we need to switch this mode into a upload mode, and by toggling on this button you will observe some changes in the UI. For starters, the stage is replaced by the editor window. The editor window shows the equivalent C++ code of the script you created. As you see here, there is a some C++ code in your right hand side, just below the upload mode, uh, which is a right as a void setup and a voice loop. It's a C++ code. Here, the first window will appear with the C++ code. Now, let's click on the extension. When where we need when you can click on this add extension, the next screen will appear like this in your laptop. Then let's take an example of an ultrasonic sensor, and let's see as an example that how we can add some extensions, or we can add some libraries to our microcontroller board. So here we take a ultrasonic sensor as an example. Let's click on the ultrasonic sensor, and you will find the loaded uh, device loaded message is appear in your screen in a yellow form. Now, you can see that the blocks of ultrasonic sensor are displayed on a block palette. Here, where my mouse is, you can see that the ultrasonic blocks are available in our Blockzie software. And when you click on this, you can see the ultrasonic sensor. Actually, we need to learn first of all some pin configuration of ultrasonic sensor. An ultrasonic sensor have basically a 4 pin VCC, ground, trigger, and echo pins. So, the working of the ultrasonic sensor is to read the distance in some units like centimeter, meter. So we just need to click on the ultrasonic sensor block, and you will see that the ultrasonic sensor trigger pin 2 and echo pin 3 and read the distance of the centimeter. It means your trigger pin of the ultrasonic sensor is connected to a microcontroller D2 board, a D2 pin, and echo pin will connected to a microcontroller's D3 pin. And we have to read this distance in the centimeter unit. So these blocks will available on your Blockzie software, and here we can use according to it. So here it's a circuit diagram of a ultrasonic sensor and the connection with the microcontroller Arduino Uno board. Here, you can see the VCC is connected to a 5 volt and the ground is connected to a ground of a microcontroller board. And the trigger and echo pins are connected with the pin number 2 and pin number 3. So here, pin number 3 is a PWM pin. So we need to connect our trigger pin to any PWM pin. And the other echo pin is connected to a microcontroller board with a D2 which is a digital pin of our microcontroller board. Let's see uh, a basic code of ultrasonic sensor by using the extension of ultrasonic sensor. So first of all, when Arduino begin its work as a Arduino setup, so here we set up some serial baud rate, which is basically a speed of the data transfer, which is by default 9600. So first of all, we will need to set up the our code, and then we will write our code in this of forever loop. So here, first we have to print the distance with the no rep. So the message distance is appear in our serial port, and then we need to print the distance which are sensed by our ultrasonic sensor, but our ultrasonic sensors trigger pin is connected to a 2 and echo pin is connected to a 3. So here we will use the extension of a ultrasonic sensor which we added previously. So here we just need to add our pin. of a trigger pin and a echo pin which are connected to our microcontroller board. We just mention pins, and the extensions are automatically calculate the distance, and we don't need to write any manual code, just because we add a extension of ultrasonic sensor in our Blockzie software. So here this block will print the distance in a centimeter unit and take the input from a ultrasonic sensor, and the unit of the distance is a centimeter, and we need to hold for a 1 second. And yes, your code is written by very easily by using this extension in our Blockzy software. Then we need to click on the upload, and your code will upload to the microcontroller board.